I mean,
You guys,
Other people will trickle in. That's fine.
Oh yeah,
So let's get down to it.
do it.
right. So yeah. Today is March 15th. This is the which one? What number is this one, Emilio? Number.
Oh, bro, you put me on the spot. This is
Yeah.
number. Let me see. Zoom meetings. Number 10.
Oh my.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we in the
Turn
double
over.
digits, baby.
We're all still
Right.
here.
So yeah, we have another guest speaker, good friend of ours, mastermind, sub-2 student and mastermind student. Mr. Olu. He's he's on the Meriden right market.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you know, we're gonna have this conversation, you know, pretty much talking about, you know, his journey in the real estate investing world. Everybody got their own little story. We heard Chester's and Aaron's story last week. And you know, I'm trying to bring, you know, special guests so they could break down, you know, their stories and you know, and do a little Q&A and yeah, so people can learn and understand what's the journey about. So with no further ado, Mr. Olu.
Welcome to the floor.
Awesome. Yes,
What's
sir.
up, bro?
I appreciate you guys just for having me on. I'm driving right now. I'm about to pull over so that I can turn my camera on and talk to you guys. But yeah, I've been a sub-2 student for a little over 2 years, or almost 2 years.
Almost
Got into sub-2 May of 2020, and it's been, you know, just a journey since. And you know, I love the community and just, you know, meeting everybody that is a part of it. You guys are learning from some great leaders in the community here that, you know, I met at the mastermind and, you know, just built a good relationship with. So, you know, I'm super appreciative for being here. And I guess my biggest thing is just wondering, I guess, like, what do you guys want to hear about in terms of like the journey, or what
right.
questions do you maybe have up front?
Pretty much, you know, how, you know, what got you into real estate, you know,
well,
you know, the process of where you know, where you at right now, how do you got where you at right now, and, you know, and how's it going? You know, what is your business looking like, you know, these days?
yeah, we got
So yeah.
we got some questions that we have ironed out from yesterday. We thought about some questions we wanted to ask you. We did send them to you. I don't know if you saw them inside the Slack, but if you didn't, that's okay. We can just kind of off the cuff here. Emilio can and Angel can ask the questions. Here, I'm gonna
Yeah, bro. I mean, kind of like what Angel was saying. So I guess what we would all like to hear is, like, how did you get started into real estate? You know, like, maybe tell us a story of, you know, where you started and kind of where you are at now.
Yeah, for sure. So I actually got started into real estate. Funny enough, I was in college. I started as like an engineer. So I subscribed to this YouTube channel, and it was called Engineer Truth. And one day the guy had on YouTube basically a video that was titled "How I Make $10,000 a month and work like 10 hours." And I watched it, and it was a guy who owned rental properties. And from there, I just kind of went like down a rabbit hole of reading, you know, Bigger Pockets book, you know, subscribing to their podcast, and just stuff like that. All right, I got in a good place, so I can stop my car. So yeah, just watching those podcasts, those videos, and that's really how I got into it. I ended up right after I graduated from college, started interning for a real estate investor here in Maryland. His name is Charles Blair. You guys can find his videos on YouTube. He's actually still pretty active. And, you know, within a year after I got into the game, I found Taste, I found Sub2, found the community and just jumped in. You know, right now we're doing, you know, 1 to 2 deals every month, and we're growing this year for sure. It's already ramping up. We've done pretty much every type of creative deal there is out there, from like owner finance, sub to novation. We've generated private money. Only thing I don't think we've done are like a rap deal yet, but it's coming this year. There's one coming, I know it. So yeah, you know, it's been a great journey. I think one of the greatest things that I learned just from real estate is the power of squatting up, the power of teamwork, the power of partnership, and just being a go-giver. You know, when I stopped, you know, trying to hold everything tight to my chest or being worried about squatting up with other people and just kind of got out there, that's when I felt like things really took off and are taking off even further the more that I just go into go-giving and squatting up and teamwork. You know, I feel like that is honestly one of the most powerful things, and probably one of the biggest things that I hope you guys take away from just having me here.
You're muted, Angel.
Thank you. Thank you.
I heard that one part, and I can relate to that. You know, at the beginning when I started as well, you know, looking for people that are doing the business, you know, locally, you know, and be like, hey, I'll help you out. You know, like I was an intern as well for another investor here locally, and I always preach on that, because you know, it gets to a point in your business that you don't think this is possible. You don't think this is, you know, like, oh my God, you know, I gotta call this and do this and do this all this stuff, and you're not getting anywhere. And then when you actually see somebody that's actually doing it, and you start working with them and you see all the moving parts, you're like, oh, this is how it's done, or you know, it actually does work. But then again, I gotta put some effort and time on it, you know. But yeah, that's a really good, and I've heard a bunch of people, you know, starting, because when I did that, I felt completely lost. I'm like, all right, this is not working. I'm not. I got all this knowledge, all this YouTube University. I started YouTube sub 2 already, so I already kind of have an idea, but I didn't have nowhere to perform. So whenever I squatted up with this guy, with this other wholesaler here, you know, he was on another level, and I saw everything. I'm like, okay, I could do this by myself now, because I saw exactly what was going on, and that's when I found Mike, and you know, it took off from there. But you know, that helps. I mean, if your local markets, if you guys feel that you're stuck, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like I always say, go to your REIAs, meet your players, and when one of those is like, hey, I'm hungry, I want to work. Can can I help you in anything? Can I bring you value? And boom, you know, that's how I got it. Actually, I got it because he was like, oh, I want to start learning how to do burst strategies, and I already did too, and I had the book. So I was like, all right, hey, I got a book that you might need. What do you think? And it's like, oh, hey, by the way, are you hiring? It's like, what? Okay, well, yeah, I'm always hiring, because everybody, you know, like in like Pace teaches, you know, all the Americans always leave, you know. So I was like, I was a new guy, but then again, I left too, you know, so to do my business, and he actually helped me out. So that was a good thing that happened, and shoot, same story with you, Olu. So that's funny.
Yeah,
But,
man, I subscribed to like his meetup posts, and he like sent out like a looking for someone to do this, work for commission only. And I was like, shoot, well, I mean, I just got out of school. I really want to do this real estate thing. What I got to lose? You know, I did my first deal with him in like, I think the first 2 or 3 months. And so that was awesome. It came from a probate lead. So I'll never forget that. I think I was emailing the seller, a couple of weeks ago, back and forth, just talking to him, catching up. Maybe he's a private money lender. You never know. So, but yeah, no. And I guess I didn't talk about my partner. My partner is Emeka Opara. He's also a sub 2 student. We all linked up here in Arizona at Pace's house during the mastermind last year. The way I met Emeka actually is he's my fraternity brother. So we're both a part of Alpha Phi Alpha, and he was in the fraternity before me. We were on a small campus, not many guys from Maryland there. So we linked up immediately, got along, and I ended up joining the fraternity. And after I graduated, I was like, yo, have you heard about real estate? Like, have you heard about it? He was like, yeah, I was looking at it, I was checking it out. And so we just went down a journey of starting a wholesaling business together. And when we found Sub 2, we were like, yo, listen, man, just the value that we got from just squatting up with people in the free creative finance group and, learning from Pace there and, linking up with guys like Angel and Emilio and Michael and just those free groups. And even in groups like this, we were able to see the power of that. And so once we got in, it went on from there, just leaning on your teammates when you don't know something or when you're in a market that you're not familiar with. You could ask Angel, like I text him probably like every 2 weeks with a new deal in South Carolina that might be like 6 hours from him. He's like, here, bro, text this person or hit this person up, or I might have a buyer for that, or that wholesaler has that deal too high, and so, that's what it's about, teaming up. I'd rather get a slice of a watermelon than, one tiny grape. So that's the message I really want to deliver. And I'm definitely apologize. I did not read the questions. So you guys can drill me with all questions. I'm ready to go. I want to provide as much value as I can in this meeting and hopefully give you guys like some motivation and, some clarity on how to do some deals.
Yeah, no, this is a kind of new for us too, like, having new guests on and bringing value like this. So no problem. I mean, we were going over the questions yesterday, just, trying to think, and, this is new for us. So it's all practice for all of us. So go Emilio.
All right, Michael. Or do you want me to? So what I was curious to ask is, which a lot of us tend to want to know sometimes, is if you could tell your past self, something about real estate business, what would you tell yourself? Is there something that you would do differently or something that you would avoid with the knowledge that you have now?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, I would say back to my past self is live in your superpower, live in what you're good at, and don't waste your time, your valuable time, which is like your money time. Don't waste that on basically B time activities or activities that aren't your strong suit. Find a partner, find a teammate, squad up with someone that can, handle those things for you so you can go out and do your superpower. So if you're good at, stacking data and seeing like the ins and outs of running a system or how to make it more efficient, you need to find someone, you need to figure out a way to generate leads for somebody else, a partner, a teammate, and have them close them for you. If your power is on the phone, talking to people, building relationships and, partnerships, you need to be closing deals and generate private money and finding squatting up partners. And so that's what I would tell my past self, is to figure out what your superpower is. Don't waste time going back and forth, partner up and live in that.
That's sure. A great answer, Olu. So I think a lot of people wonder this. I know I wonder this, or have wondered this. How do you go about squatting up with somebody and partnering up, so to speak? Because I mean, all of us hear all the stories about partnerships and how they go wrong, and maybe some of us have had partnerships that have gone wrong, and we're kind of jaded by it. So is there some kind of philosophy that you've sort of learned or lived by?
Yes. I feel like you should, it's almost like getting married to someone. It's not the same, but it's similar, right? So you got to date them first. You got to kind of talk to different people. Like I said, if you're just squatting up out there, go giving and communicating with whatever community you're a part of, you're going to be able to network with people and start seeing like potential, and just, talk about what you're looking for, talk about what you're good at. Don't be shy, put yourself out there. or if someone's having like role playing calls, if you feel like your strong suit is being a closer, then jump on there and role play, and maybe your partner will. That's how I found one of my partners, Shad. He seen me in a role play competition, so I was just like, I want to get out there, I want to get better, I want people to see what I'm good at, and I just want to get out there, and that's how I found him. So definitely putting yourself out there and communicating with different people, having a dating period where you're kind of talking about, oh, I'm good at this, I'm good at generating leads. Okay, I'm going to be the one following up and locking them up. Having that communication and having that dating period is, probably the most important thing.
Don't just go to Vegas and elope and get married right away. Take some time, right? Get to know each other.
Yeah. Take me out to dinner first. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Or take
yeah.
them out to dinner.
Yeah.
You guys would have saved me a lot of money on my second wife. It's a little late.
Man,
Sorry we weren't there earlier, man. Maybe next time.
I think we can all relate one way or another, if that choosing the right partner is definitely in like that dating period, because when I started out, I jumped the gun, partnered up with somebody, and yeah, it got me started, but at the same time, I learned everything backwards, so I had to start fresh. So I totally understand it now. The dating period, getting to know your partner, and then seeing if you guys are even in the same mindset,
Mhm.
Yeah. And everybody needs to realize that it is a process. We're not going to go from A to Z just like that, and having partnerships is the same thing. You like, it's like dating. You got to put yourself out there. You don't know if it's going to work. You want it to work, but that's why you're going through the process. You're making it a process, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just jumping in and getting your feelings hurt or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Getting out there, communicating, talking to different people. And along the way, not everybody's going to be your partner. You're going to find people that are just you're going to squad up with, you know what I'm saying? You're going to talk to about deals. They're going to help you comp properties or do something else in the business. Like, I'm not partners with Michael or Angel, but I've learned a lot from them. And shoot, I try to send them deals in their market as much as I can so that we can hopefully squad up. But, we're not partners, but we're eventually we'll be on some deals this year for sure. So, that's just how it is. You'll get some benefit along the way.
Yeah,
to
and
meeting that.
I feel like what you were talking about, squatting up with people and we being willing to work with others or bring others into your business, that you should maybe have the idea that these people aren't going to stay potentially. They might go their own way, but that's okay. Like, we become peers and we begin to work together instead, but just on our own businesses at the same time.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned that. Like, one thing, I love the sub 2 community, guys. Like, we have lead managers. We have 5 lead managers, and all of them are sub 2 students.
Oh, wow.
So they tee up leads for us. I close them, and shoot, sometimes they send me cold wholesale deals, or I send them cold wholesale deals. They have a buyer, whatever. But I know they're not going to be there, forever with us, necessarily. But we're forever going to be able to squat up on deals. But for now, this is how we're doing it. They're lead managing. We're doing acquisitions together, and I don't know how long it'll be, but I told them, whenever you guys want to go, cool. Let's lock up as many deals as we can while you're here, and it's all love. So,
Right.
Good deal.
If anybody's
Love
got
it,
any
bro.
questions that they want to ask, they could raise their hand or post it in the chat.
Yeah.
Should I ask this question for Kevin?
Yeah.
What
Oh,
systems are
Kevin.
you using?
what'd you say?
What software are you using?
We use Podio as our CRM. We got a build out from Easy Button REI. I don't remember how I finessed it, but I got it for free.
Oh.
And then we kind of just customized it from there. That's what I was talking about with like living in your superpower. I basically was like kind of did way too much in terms of like messing around with Globy Flow and all that stuff when I could have been living in my superpower, locking up deals, generating private money. So yeah, we're on Podio. We have PropStream. We also have batch leads. That's where we stack our list currently. For now, we're stacking our list in batch leads, and we have a new texting platform. I don't know which texting platform we use because I don't really handle the texting. But yeah, we have a texting platform. I'll try to find out you guys.
It's not part of your. It's not part of your dialer.
No, I think we might use batch, but we don't use batch dialer. We use call tools, and we use my one partner Shad. He uses Zen Call for our other VAs.
Yeah.
How you
Yeah.
liking call tools? I keep hearing that being brought up. I know a lot of people use call tools, and me and Michael were talking about it just the other day.
Oh, well, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, like how you liking the service? Like, you know, are you guys liking it so far?
I heard it was version 2 that was causing the problems.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't know because I think right before version 2 is when I stopped actually being involved with that, when I kind of like we split up everything. But we really like call tools as far up to that point. I mean, my partner, he done Mecca, he never complains about it. So as far as I know, he still likes it, and it's perfectly fine. I haven't used version 2 a lot, but I definitely say test it out. I'm pretty sure they have a free trial, or you can talk to them. Always communicate. You never know until you ask, and you know the door should be open. So it doesn't hurt to hit up the support team, ask if you can get like a 2-week trial or something. But my other partner, I know he uses Zen Call, and he likes that a lot. But all of them have their pros and cons. It's just depending on what you need, what you like, and honestly, who can make sure that the calls connect all the time.
Yeah, somebody who has the superpower to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because running those systems, it requires you to be analytical and really look at the finer details, you know, your KPIs and your phone numbers. If your phone numbers are turning out to look like spam, you know, you got to be on top of that stuff.
Yes.
So that definitely takes a superpower.
They have a question.
I was gonna say, yeah, Abby.
Abby's what's first. Yeah, go ahead. Do you use VAs? She's asking. Or
yes, we use VAs. I think we have 8 cold callers and like 2 data VAs, and then we're also looking to hire like an admin kind of executive assistant VA, and that person is going to kind of help me out with, you know, handling some of the new stuff that I'm doing, since now I'm not lead managing, I'm kind of just straight acquisitions and partnership. So they're going to help out with those tasks. We also, I mean, you can have VAs for everything, but yeah, that's pretty much all the VAs we have. Definitely use VAs.
Wow, you said 8 VAs, huh?
Yeah, I mean, they're not on our payroll, but they're basically our VAs. We basically train them, you know what I'm saying? And we using them for so long, you know, they love us, we love them, you know. So
what do you mean they're not in your payroll? Like somebody, you other partners pitch in, or what do you?
Yeah, so we partnered with Shad, so that's one of our partners, and so basically he has a team of VAs, and his superpower is finding the right talent, putting them on the team, and basically the beginning part of the conveyor belt of what is our business, you know, is generating leads. So, you know, he has a team of VAs, and so that's basically, I call his team our team, because, you know, that's what it is, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, what do we got? Either Sharon or who was first? Victor, Sharon? Sharon, let's start with Sharon. Yeah.
Okay, well, you pretty much played into it a lot when you were talking about the VAs. But when you're talking about my partners this and my partners that, how do y'all know like what your superpowers are? How did you come about to be teamed up in a partner way? And how did you fill the blanks so that there was somebody for everything? Because that's exactly what I want to do. I don't necessarily want to learn everything at one time, but I want to learn something really good and go from there.
Okay. Okay. So for me, I would say for anybody, it's like taking massive action. Or I mean, for yourself right now, for figuring out, one thing you can do is like look back on your past life. Like, what did you enjoy doing? You know, what were you good at? Or sometimes you might be really good at something, and that is not where you want to live in your superpower. Like, I'm really good at using Microsoft Excel just because that's kind of what I grew up in. I'm really good with like messing with Globy Flow, but that's not where I want to live in my superpower, and that's not where like my highest and best value comes from. So I'm good at it, but it's not my.
Uh-oh, did we lose him?
Yeah, I have.
Uh-oh, he broke. So another thing that I have when he comes back is, how did he learn all of this lingo of superpowers and partners, and where did that all come to be
Well,
when he comes back?
Yeah, Angel and I could probably speak to that.
yeah, I was
Okay.
gonna
Yes,
say
please.
Angel and Michael can probably answer on that one.
I mean,
Well,
go ahead, Angel.
we did the little test of the rocket fuel that I guess a bunch of people, most of us did it. But then again, like he was saying, and that was a great answer for the question that Emilio asked. That you know, finding your superpower, and I mean, for me, it was easy. I don't want to, like, for instance, you see the camera that it's getting blurred and all that stuff. I don't even know how to work that. So, but then again, I know how to close deals. I know how to talk to people. I know how to mingle, and you know, and you know, I'm social. That's before real estate. I knew that was, you know, something that I have fun doing. You know, meeting people, and you know, being, you know, just walking. My joke was that I used to walk to bars or clubs back in the day, and I leave knowing everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, hey, Joel, hey. So that was, you know, I always had that, you know, superpower, I guess. I don't know. And I'm applying it to real estate because, you know, speaking with sellers, you could, you know, you have a way to
Relate to them.
communicate better. And me being in the phone, some people hate it, but I mean, I could, you know, I can have a conversation with anybody pretty much, you know, and relate, and you know, and find, you know, experiences and whatnot. So whenever I was by myself before Mike, yeah, I was trying to do the skip tracing. I was trying to do the driving for dollars. I was trying to use Podio. Oh my God, what a disaster that was. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, just put me to talk with somebody. I got all this knowledge here that I need to talk. The hell with the systems. Look, this is what I got. This is my CRM. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's it. So if I didn't have Michael, you know, you know, and I know for a fact that's not my superpower. So talking and relating with people, I mean, I guess I don't know if I'm answering your question, but you know, you got to know your personality, and you know, like with your everyday, what you do every day, there's a position in every corner. And, you know, there's a position for everybody in real estate. You know, I mean, there's you got a superpower somewhere, but then again, obviously you gotta
How to find it, I think, is the big question, right?
right.
How to
You know,
find it. So
I
how
think
we
that comes
got
from-
introduced to some of these things was obviously from the sub-2 mentorship. You know, superpowers, it comes from some book, and then, you know, Pace is, you know, talking about this stuff, but it's really nothing new. I mean, when I was in college, there were personality tests, you know, there still are, you know, Tony Robinson pushes those things. It's really self-awareness, you know, trying to find out who you really are. And I'm gonna throw it back to Olu, because he got cut
Yeah.
out there. But yeah.
So I just want to let Olu know that Sharon asked kind of like where you're getting these terms like superpowers and, you know, partnerships and all that, but Angel and Michael seemed to they took care of it. But
Yeah,
before
yeah.
we get too far, I see Victor before you lose track of his question, so that way we can move on to the next one. What's up, Victor?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
What's
Good,
going
good.
on?
Good afternoon. What's going on, Ulu? Olu, sorry about that. Hey, first of all, I want to say thank you for being here, man. Everything that you have been talking about so far, golden. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. And Emilio, Michael, and Angel, thank you guys again. Once again, man, you guys provide so much, man. It's very grateful. So I have two questions though, regarding, not that it matters. I'm a real estate agent here in California, and I'm having a hard time separating the two, right? I know how to call, say, for example, expires, for sale by owners, absentees, and this and that. But I don't know, for some reason, I'm having a hard time scheduling, calling, prospecting for wholesaling. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm like, I'm stuck in a hole and I'm digging myself more in the hole. It's almost getting frustrating. I don't know if that makes sense. That question makes sense. I prospect in the morning. I door knock in the morning for being a real estate agent, but I'm pulling myself back into finding distressed homes, into following up with them, or even calling them, reaching out to them for some reason. So my question is, how would I put a title onto this wholesaling thing?
How do you be both a realtor and an investor? Is that maybe the question?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I'm not a real estate agent, so I can't say that I have lived your situation all the way. Have you done, I'm sure you've probably done this, but do you do like time blocking and things like that?
Yes.
Like block?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm doing time blocking, and I introduced myself as a real estate agent, right? I'm a local real estate agent or whatnot. I'm calling from X brokerage, but I don't know. I like analysis paralysis with this wholesale for some reason. I don't know. I just can't seem to move forward. My wheels are stuck in mud for some reason with this wholesaling thing. And
I wonder if it's because as a real estate agent, you live over in this world where it's all about homes that are ready to be on the market, people want to buy a home. And then you've got this other side where it's like, it's the opposite kind of, right? You're there. I think you got to find a way to marry the two. So on the other side, it's all about people that have a problem that you're trying to solve when it comes to investing. What do you think, Olu?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna ask, like, what do you feel like it is that's getting you stuck in the mud? Like, is it the part about cold calling a homeowner that didn't raise their hand and say they want to sell, or like, is there something in it? Is it pulling a list? Is it what dialer to use? Like, where do you feel like you're like really getting stuck there?
That's a great question. And to be honest with you, I have the list. I get lists thrown at me every day, right? I get title to throw a list at me. I have arch agents that I get, for rent by owners. Those are not major investors, right? They have ones or twos. They might be tired of renting. Not sure. I don't know. I think it's just me holding myself back. I think I just answered my own question, but I guess it's all on scheduling or really not knowing what to say when I approach them in a way. I mean, I have the scripts here.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm just stuck. And then also too, I spend hours upon hours, and sometimes I get no answers. Why? Because my phone number is showing up as spam. I get my burn numbers from burn apps. Burner app. There's an app called out there, Burner app. I use Vulcan 7 dialer. It's expensive, right? But yeah, I just spend hours upon hours just getting nowhere. I go out and door knock. I mean, I show some videos or some pictures or a picture.
What about providing some sort of value to an investor in here, or
That's what it was.
Yeah, go ahead, Angel.
I was about to ask you because you're kind of like in between the investor and realtor, and you're just trying to match them together, or
Yeah,
or to
you
find
know,
out which one to
But the problem
um
is you can't do everything. And that's kind of what we're telling you, everybody. And that's what Olu's saying is you cannot do everything. You don't have those superpowers. So it's really best to find someone to squat up with that has what you need and you have what they need.
exactly. So in that
Yeah.
on that note, I mean that's every realtor that I've met that is in the investing on real estate business, they are investors before realtors. So they actually, like, for instance, we work with a bunch of realtors that they whenever they sell, we need somebody to sell their properties. Hell, the first thing we call is some of the realtors, our friends that we got for that discount or whatnot, and for that help. um there's it always comes back to squatting up, with the rest of the investors, and having that realtor background or position. MLS, bro, you got that access to that MLS. Everybody needs comps, so you're talking with other investors. Hey, where you at in your business? I mean, I could actually help you out with this and this and that, and that's your way in to work with this other investors. You see what I'm saying? And get in their world, and these questions that you're asking about the cold calling and all that stuff. Hell, they can help you out. Get to that position because you're bringing them value. With your comping skills, with your some of the properties, actually finding them distressed properties on the MLS, because that's another way to, what I'm saying. So I mean, getting knowing your local investors, and actually, hey, bringing them value, and asking the same questions you're asking him here to us, like, hey, bro, I'm stuck in this part. Oh shoot, we're working actually on that, and boom, boom, boom. I mean, just so you can get your local person to help you out, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I would have said I think Angel hit it spot on. Like, I feel like you're really strong at like talking to people and getting in front of people. I don't know you, Victor, but this is like, just off what you told me, it sounds like you're really strong at talking to people, getting in front of people, and you just need someone to handle the back end of stuff and just line up appointments with you for you so that you can go knock them out the park. And like Angel said, provide value. Hey, I can list all your leads that want retail for you at a discount, and let me call your neutral and cold leads and your new leads to see if they're ready to sell for you. I'm ready to learn. I'm excited to learn. Here's how I can provide value. I'm not good at the systems, or find a partner, you know what I'm saying, that can do the systems part for you.
Yeah, because I think what you need to do, Victor, is the goal of a real estate investor, I could probably speak for everybody here, financial freedom, right? And how do we get financial freedom? It's through owning assets. Well, getting into real estate investing, part of the first stage is wholesaling. You're not looking to hold anything. You're looking to get rid of everything you can so you can build up capital to hold on to real estate in the long term. But in the interim, you're going to need to find a way to get there, right? So creating a conveyor belt where you can count on 2 to 5 deals coming in every month of motivated sellers, right? These aren't just anybody. These are people that actually want to sell their house because they have a problem and you have a solution to that problem. So by teaming up with somebody that's already doing that and you can do the closing, that's a way you can squat up. By hiring VAs and setting up systems, maybe you're not ready for that. Maybe you need a little more education on that. But these are some things that I'm thinking could work.
Everything that they said is straight facts, man. Victor, if you want to reach out to me sometime tomorrow, or when you have some time this week, I'm a real estate broker here in Florida. I'd be more than happy to show you how we run our operations and help in any way that I can.
Reggie in the back.
Awesome.
Let's
Reggie, right?
Let's
Reggie,
go.
So what I'm thinking is, maybe we'll get a couple more questions in, but at the end, everyone can ask some more questions. But Victor, maybe if Reg and Victor, people want to stay on after, we get our questions in and, Olu share some more, maybe we can touch more on that and, find out more answers, and that way we can all start working more together.
We can schedule in something. The two of them can schedule something,
Yeah.
get together. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Most
sure.
definitely, yes, for sure. I appreciate that. And hey, guys, again, thank you guys. Golden nuggets here. I wouldn't be anywhere else. Last week, man, I was out door knocking. I was I had an appointment, but anyways, blessings to be here. Thank you.
Welcome, man.
Oh man, it's all love, Victor.
Go.
But to kind of get back into things, bro, Olu. So Michael was asking, and he sees more on the business side of things, and he was wondering, do you have like a certain like niche or philosophy of doing business?
Yeah, I feel like it goes back to giving value and, being as transparent as possible and just providing the most value that you can. That's kind of like the philosophy behind it. Truly just really just trying to, if you're in a situation and you don't know what you're doing, just think like, am I giving value? Am I like, make sure you're in the situation. As far as having a niche, I would say that I'm focused on squatting up on single family homes. And really our focus this year is wholesaling, generating a huge war chest so that we can go out and buy properties in the future. But this year we want to build a war chest from wholesaling, whether that's creative deals or, regular wholesale deals. And we want to do Airbnbs. Am I focused on a primary market? Yes, we have specific markets for certain things, but will I close a deal anywhere in the US, maybe even Canada? 100%. That's, I guess my niche is like really just providing value, as much as I can in real estate and solving problems with sellers on deals. We do mostly target single family homes. But if a JV lead comes in for a multifamily, yeah, we have hedge funds for that. Or if, a hotel with 100 units comes in, we have a hedge fund for that. So, not scared of a deal, but yeah, I guess
we had a hotel not long ago. Remember that green one, Angel, somewhere in Texas?
Yes.
Now we know.
Now we know. We got that. We got that hedge funder hookup right here.
Yes, sir. Let's go. That's a
There you go. Right there. There's a little nugget for everybody on here right now. You're having a hard time finding hedge funds. You don't gotta find them. Olu has them.
Let's go.
All you gotta do is JV with them. That's a great deal right there.
Squad up.
Squad up. Oh man. So I know you touched up a bit on like, when we were asking about partnerships and all that good stuff, but you were talking about superpowers, and pretty much what I see with partnerships is you got to find your yang and your yin and yang, So what do you bring, what do you bring to your partnership, and what does your partner bring in return? So that way, some people can find out, well, I relate to Olu, so I got to find my, and I turn out, Amika, is that your partner's name?
Okay, yeah.
Mecca. Yeah.
Mecca. Yeah, and they can find their own Mecca.
Yeah, so basically like what I bring to the partnership is negotiating with sellers and locking up deals, managing the acquisitions team. We just started having our lead managers 2 weeks ago. So, handling that side of the business. And then I also underwrite all our deals. I do check with Emeka for everything since he's talking to our buyers. He's doing dispo. So, occasionally I'll go check with him on a deal to see, what buyer it is so he can go ahead and start getting in contact with that person and sending them details. I also handle our partnerships. So squatting up, finding JV leads or helping people out with their dead leads. That's my responsibility. I'm kind of like the face of the company, if you will, and he's like the backbone of the company. So as far as like systems or skip tracing, pulling lists, hiring, managing VAs, he does all that stuff. Disposition, so lining stuff up with buyers, talking to our dispo partners, Emeka does that. He also does transaction coordinating. So when we have a creative deal, like something like that, like owner finance or subject to, it's not as easy as just sending the paperwork over to the title company and, you know, boom, you're done. Buyer submits EMD, everything's good. It's not as simple as that. There's other, you know, more intricate steps. So he manages that process. I also am in charge of like bringing private money lenders and opportunities like that to the table, and basically like creating the vision of where we're going. And he kind of integrates it, locks it in, boom, clears it out.
Yeah. Teamwork.
Nice. All I could think about was
Nice.
Spider-Man, bro. You're the Spider-Man. And Emeka's your guy behind the desk, behind the computer. The guy behind the screen.
He's
Gotta
like
love.
Tony. He's like Tony Stark in the new Spider-Man. He's like, all right,
Yeah,
here's
there
your
you go. You
Lock
always
this
gotta
deal
have
up
that
this
guy. You know, or like relate. I was like Mission Impossible, man. You're the Tom Cruise, and Ken, the guy in the van, always on the computer. So, what other questions? So I think, well, Michael, Angel, you guys got any kind of stuff that kind of pop up?
Shoot, it's almost 8. You guys
got-
want to do like what's up?
I got one more thing to add, guys, is like, you don't have to do acquisitions facing business. You can do a dispositions facing business and be 100% profitable. I don't know if you guys know who Don Rich is, but he's pretty much dispositions facing, and he's one of the best closers I know. So you don't have to face acquisitions locking up the deal. You can partner up with wholesalers and call buyers all day and do it that way if you feel differently.
That's one thing that we have a little gig on the side as well, to doing dispo for rep buyers. I don't know if I told you about that one. And I'm helping, shoot, right now I'm helping like at least like 8 students, finding their rep buyers.
You got that deal I sent you, right?
Huh?
You got that deal I sent you, right?
Yes, but then again, yeah. Well, that's like a wholesale though, right?
No, I'm gonna hit you up after this, bro. I got one. We need a Dueno a Dueno.
Dueño, yeah. That's that's the benefit that I speak Spanish as well. So I attack both markets. And actually yesterday we were kind of doing like a little training video kind of deal, because just to put it out there for the other for the people that are gonna that are coming in to work for us, give them a little training on how to do it.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
lit, bro.
I mean that's a business by itself. This position, it's insane. I mean, people.
Oh yeah.
If you don't have a buyer, you don't have a deal. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you can talk all day long and close all kinds of deals, but if you don't have the end set up, I mean, you're pretty much dead in the water. So
Yeah.
that's what we do.
Yeah, and some of us remember when we were new and we got our first deal, and now all of a sudden we got to switch gears and start finding a buyer. It's really cool to have a team where that kind of thing's happening, and you're doing your thing while they're doing their thing, and it comes together. I can't tell you how many times Angel will bring up, "Hey, we got paid today." I'm like, "What? We got paid? I love you."
And that's the thing. I mean, there's so many positions. Like I was saying, like Sharon's still here. Like Sharon, I mean, I don't know if you're good with paperwork. You might be a great transaction coordinator. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could be. I mean, because some people don't have the. Is it the gift of gag or something? I mean,
there's a lot of patience involved, because there's paperwork, there's teaching title companies and attorneys, there's working with sellers and buyers. I mean, a lot of patience, a lot of diplomacy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Oh yeah, that's a job that I'm like, all right, somebody please help me out in this part, because
So guys, what you're talking about right now is a transaction coordinator?
Yes, it's someone
transaction coordinator,
Yeah.
yeah.
paperwork.
Maybe that's could be a topic that we bring up right here.
That would be great. Yeah, because that sounds
Yes.
interesting to me.
Because
Yeah,
you got the wholesale part of it, paperwork. You got the subject to paperwork. You got the novation paperwork. You got the now we got the Morphe method paperwork.
Ooh, that one is a tough one, bro. We're working.
I'm
on
like,
that
oh my
now.
God. And
Oh
you
my
know, as soon
gosh.
as we get to the deal, we talk to the seller. All right, Mr. Seller. So it's nothing stopping you to take the next step? No, we're good. Okay, so we're gonna be sending you some paperwork. And oh my God, whenever that part comes, I'm like, oh shoot. And obviously, you know, we're using transaction coordinators like, hey, our transaction coordinator is going to be talking to you in a few hours. You know, just getting the paperwork together and done. But before, it's like walking people to the paperwork. It's like what, like 15 pages or some shit.
Yeah,
It's like, well, you know, by page 8, they're like, you know what, bro, the hell with this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I'm explaining it. But look, there go the camera again.
Hey,
But whenever it's a transaction coordinating, you know, whenever you transfer it to them, the transaction coordinator goes step by step with the paperwork. Whenever the paperwork is done, it's pretty much a set of instructions. Then they can have the conversation with the attorneys. The attorneys need to understand, you know, what kind of strategy we're using.
Yes.
And then from there, you know, the conversation and actually taking it to the finish line.
Yeah.
You know, it's a job. You know, it's something that we.
Well,
I think everybody needs.
Let me add to that really quick, Angel, because you know a position like transaction coordination is not just a plug and play. Obviously, you got to learn the paperwork, but there's also networking. One of the things that we depend on with our transaction coordinator is that she knows the right title company and the right attorney. Doesn't matter the state, right? I don't have to worry about that. I know that she will take us to the right company because I've done the wrong thing where I go to an attorney that I thought I want to use and they don't understand a novation or a subtail or whatever, you know, and then we're having a hard time in the deal. So it really depends on my transaction coordinator to know those people.
Yeah, we've been actually talking to them to see if they pull it, they bring out like a little transaction coordinator course or something. I mean, because people, you know,
that would be awesome. I would like that.
Yeah.
One tip I'll add for like the title companies, guys, just real quick, is we always use one. This was like a Mecca's rule. He's like, yo, from here on out, we're only using title companies that have an in-house attorney. And that's just because you want to, and that's especially for creative ones. You want to make sure someone's there that understands it and, you know, knows how to go through everything.
Yeah. There you go. Little nugget right there. Little nugget
that should be another Zoom that we should do with Love.
Oh yeah, you guys are love.
I mean, because it's something not everybody. You use Love as well, Olu?
Oh, he uses him.
I don't know.
Mika. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's awesome too, because every team should have their in-house transaction coordinator, because you know we you know everybody needs to be on you know time. What is it? Time kills deals. You know, so if you don't have everybody's, you know, doing, you know, the right thing at the right time. You know, I'm here talking to people. Mike is, you know, dealing with the systems, and you know,
at minimum,
we're expecting or hoping that she's doing the right thing.
At minimum, you ought to be able to get it to a certain point, and then the transaction coordinator take over. You know, like get a purchase contract, and then once you got that, then the rest of it can be structured.
And guys, no matter what your role is in your company, like whatever you're doing for whatever part of the business you're in, remember that you're not always going to be doing that, right? A lot of stuff you're going to be outsourcing at some point. So definitely, you know, record your SOPs, record your Loom videos, and put them in somewhere where you can pass that off to someone else once they're ready to take over that role, especially something like transaction coordinating.
Love it, bro. Let's go.
All right.
Well, so yeah, man, thank you. Hey, thank you again for taking time out of your day. I see you're in your car, you know, you probably got places to be like on the side of the road, flashers on and everything. But
nah, I'm in like a parking lot.
Next thing you know, we're gonna see a knock on the window with a flashlight. But
so Olu, quick question: how can people find you? Social media wise, or
yeah, like if we wanted to get in touch with you, how should they do that?
Yeah, for sure. So you can hit me up. I'm gonna drop my Instagram.
Yeah, might as well in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
and
you
my
just drop it in the Slack in the general channel or something.
okay. Yeah, I'll do that too. Yeah, I'll definitely do that too. And then yeah, so that's here. I'll drop it in
I'll
here.
do it. If you drop it in the Slack, I'll drop it in the Zoom. I mean, if you drop it in the Zoom, I'll drop it in the Slack. How about that?
Right.
Awesome.
Oh, look at that. There's a phone number there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
so
about to
hit me
bust
up.
out a pace. Text that number right now. Pull up his phone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So hit me up if you guys got deals. If you, I mean, you guys got closers in here. You guys got angels, so you probably don't need me. But anything I can help out with, squad up with, let me know. I'm happy to help out. I appreciate you guys for having me. I hope I added some true value. Let's get it. Let's close some deals. Awesome. Hit me up if you guys have questions or just connect.
Oh, you got it, bro. Thank you very
Appreciate you
much,
guys.
man. And just real quick, I want to put out there, you know, if you guys want to, if you want to hang out, bro, we'll probably stay on here a few minutes.
Right. I mean,
answer
if
some
anybody
questions.
got a deal
But
they
I wanted
wanna kind of talk about, or underwrite, or just anything that
Yeah.
you got questions in your business, or now's the time.
But yeah, I also wanted to throw out there, in case you guys were taking notes, the nuggets that I took out of today's discussion were, finding your partner, that was all. I love how Olu, you described that, dating them for a minute. But also, guys, he brought up, he has, hedge fund buyers, and that's a big plus to have in your business. Usually they're able to pay more than just your average wholesale fee, So yeah, if you guys ever have a deal that the numbers just might be too high, hit up Olu. He might be able to hook you guys up and get that property sold. I know that's how it worked for me.
For sure. Absolutely. That's definitely the way it goes. Thank God for hedge funds.
I know, man. Give me all your money.
Right. Yeah.
But
And we're trying to close deals pretty much across the states. We're buyers too. We own a duplex in Cleveland, property in Maryland. So like basically what we're buying is, if we can get into a deal, like any creative deal we'll look at, especially if it's Airbnb potential for sure. If we can get into a deal and get paid to buy it, whether that's Morby method or a different way, we'll take it down. Yeah, so send those
there you
over.
go. Creative deals. I love it. That's what I feel like everyone's got to learn first. Everyone always told me wholesale first. And I'm like, nah, now that I'm learning creative, it's the other way. All right. Well, again, I see Victor. What's up, Victor?
What's happening, brother? What's happening? Real quick, do you guys have any recommendations on how to get away from your phone numbers being tagged as possible spam? I know we went over it. I just didn't. Yeah, because every time I make at least 50 calls in a row, my number comes back as possible spam, right? And then I got to change my number. And then again, after 50 calls or 75 calls, depending on the ordeal, yeah, the number comes up as
how many people are you calling on what? Like, how many numbers do you have? Not numbers, but how many prospecting people do you have on one list?
Man, so I got a folder on Vulcan 7. We're able to create folders, right? Each folder has 50 contacts. So say, for example, today I got 3 expires, right? I moved them down to folder 1. And then tomorrow I'll get 10. I'll move them down to folder 1 until it creates 50, sorry. And then I'll just call them that folder 50 at one shot. Then I'll move on to the next folder 50. So I'm calling, I'm on the phone for 3-4 hours, 5 hours, 5 hours majority of the time. Just calling out, and my number is just coming up as spam. I waste all that time. Yeah.
What I've been told, I don't know what else, like what I've heard is you want to have a phone number for each 150 contacts. You know, if you're calling more than like 100 contacts a day, you want to have 2 numbers running at the same time. So they're changing, like you're dialing with this phone
Every
number,
so
then
often,
this
yeah.
phone number, and then swapping this number. Yep. Because if you're
Mhm.
dialing with just one number, constantly dial, 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 and then like say you hit like, you know, 100 people in a day, well, you're more likely of getting marked spam, you know, and it also
Okay.
depends on, you know, the services you're using. I know some service, they pay more attention, but you know, you got to just recycle numbers, you know, switch them up. What I've always been told is try calling yourself first on your
I
phone
did.
numbers,
Mhm.
you know, to see if they're coming up as spam, so you're not wasting all that time.
Of course, yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I actually take pauses, right? When I go through like 15 minutes of nobody answering, I call my wife through Vulcan. So my primary number is registered through the burner app. The burner app is what I get the numbers from, and I registered those numbers into the Vulcan 7 dialer. So when I call out, when I get a call back, it rings on my cell phone number because it's connected through the burner numbers. So when I call out on the Vulcan 7 number with the burner number, I call my wife and she goes, yeah, it's possible spam. So then I change the numbers out frequently. So the latest thing that I've done is purchased a track phone, and I got to buy new data every month.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying everything right now. And supposedly doing that, you could call as many numbers, unlimited numbers, and not be tagged as spam. So I'm just asking to see if you guys have any other ways. I know it's batch dialer, but that's a voice over IP. I tried that one, but it sounds so echoey. People are going, dude, are you in the toilet? When I'm calling them. No, I'm in the office, right? So then it sounds like there's an echo, you know, you're in the toilet or something. I go, no, I'm in my office. I do apologize for that. But anyways, yeah, it's just funny. But yeah, it's a voice over IP number. That's why.
Does anybody have anything to share with that? You know,
I would say definitely make sure that where you're getting your numbers from is like a quality source, for sure, because you know that could be one contributing factor.
Yeah, this burner app came with high recommendations, and I text him back. I go, "Here's your high recommendations, junk." But anyways, yeah, we're joking around. But yeah, no, I mean, you know, in every month that goes by, it's $350 for a dialer. By the way, it's expensive because it has, you know, all the whistles,
Yeah.
so they say. I got sold, but anyways, it is what it is. I just got to make the best of it. I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to see if there's any other ways I'm able to
Yeah.
protect my outbound calls.
Well, I'm not biased, man, but I just, you know, I kind of go with what I hear. And a lot of the people that I know that are huge in the game are using like batch dialer, call tools, you know, stuff, those kind of dialers, because I know they trust those. You know, they wouldn't be talking about them if they wouldn't trust them. But
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
like Olu was saying, you know, you gotta pay for good data, you know, and if you're noticing, dude, that like you're paying $350 for a dialer and you keep getting phone numbers marked as spam, that ain't it, bro.
Yeah. So I call my provider, Verizon, right? They said, no, everything checks out. Everything's good. Your number's registered. You have your name. Okay. I called dialer. Yeah, no, everything's good. You're registering your numbers that you're using. So everybody's throwing the ball at each other. And then I'm communicating with with burner app, and they don't communicate via voice. It's through Messenger, and it takes 24 to 48 hours. So pretty much I just canceled that subscription, and I just went with the track phone. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this one out. If not, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and change the dialer, go into something else.
And what Neil's put on here is you start 67, bro.
Or a landline, right?
Well, I think the bad thing about that would be then you'd be an unknown phone number, like unknown caller ID, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
then people are gonna be like, that's spam.
Yes. All right, cool. Hey, I appreciate that. Start 67, here I come.
Yeah, it might work. Who knows? Neil might have solved it. You'll
Yeah.
never know until you try it.
Yeah, absolutely. try anything right now. Yeah.
What you got? What you got, Lily?
Lily.
Hey guys, sorry I'm driving.
No worries.
Hey, so I was cold calling the other day. Not a lot, but like, like maybe 10. But anyway, I got one lady who said they actually tried to sell this property before and nobody can give them the price that they want. Like everybody wants to lowball them. So I was thinking, do you think that's a warm lead?
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, if they're like, what is their motivate? Why do they want to sell?
They said, well, I didn't prod, but she said they already tried to sell and she knows that she wants to sell it eventually, but not right now. And I said, like, how much did you want to sell it for? And she said, I don't know how much it's worth now, like in the market, but she knows she wants to sell it, but and that's all she said, not right now. And I didn't prod too much. That's my problem. I'm not great with cold calling yet, so I don't know the questions to ask. I did just tell her, you have my phone number and you can call me or text me, and I have partners who are willing to purchase it, and we can talk about it, and we'll see what we can do. So we can make we can maybe come up with a number that you like.
Yeah.
Did you ask the four pillars?
No, not really.
Did she sounded that she was motivated to like sell, or she was just trying to entertain offers, or?
She said that they already tried. That's what she said, and it's a commercial. So I didn't look at the property yet because you guys told me, don't worry about all the details, just keep calling and right. So I didn't even like really look into this property, but I keep passing by it. Like I drive to my kids' preschool, and it looks, it doesn't look great, and it doesn't look like it's been taken care of. When I skip traced it, it's absentee, so they don't live there. So
But then again, it's commercial or it's residential?
she said it's for commercial, so I'm thinking maybe it's like an apartment, but.
Yeah, listen, so a great way for, I heard you say that you didn't really know the questions to ask. So
yeah,
a great way to really get this done, again, going back to squatting up, is finding somebody who will do that closing for you. For example, when Angel and I started working together, I was doing the bird dogging, essentially. I was looking for the leads. I was finding the four pillars because that's what he wanted me to do to qualify them. And then I would pass it on to him. And at that point, they would be either warm or hot, and if they were warm or hot, then he could close them. So,
okay. So yeah, that's why I'm asking now, because I don't know what my next step is. Like I can probably call her back and do the four pillars, and then if it sounds like a warm lead, then maybe I can hit one of you guys up and try to close it, or because it's commercial, then maybe not.
Yeah, maybe have Angel do some coaching with you on it. If you're gonna end up calling her back, he can coach you on what to tell her. And then, or at the other side of the spectrum, I mean, Angel's not afraid to just call someone.
Yeah.
If you just want him to call, then he can do that too.
So I don't know if you answered it, Lily, or if she did. You said they tried to sell it. Did they list it with the market?
She said she gets so many postcards. So I'm thinking maybe like a direct selling, but she said they already tried in the past. I didn't really ask about MLS. But she said they already tried to sell the property in the past, but nobody's able to give them the price that they want.
Here's a little quick tip. Little when you get somebody that says the words, "Oh, the market's so high," "Oh, the market's so good, I want to sell my property." A follow-up question should be, then why don't you list it on the market?
Yeah. She didn't say that. She just said, I don't know what it's worth now. But she just said that.
Yeah.
And a good question.
If I could intrude.
Go ahead. Who said that?
All right, so it means Victor. So real quick, regarding the motivation, price, and everything else, It's always simple just to, ask out of you're being curious, right? So for example, Angel, let's just call her Angel. Angel, if I may ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you? 10 meaning your bags are packed. And of course, they're just going to tell you, right? If they don't, then, they're not motivated, because any motivated person is going to tell you. And then if you know the price, if you don't know the price, just ask, well, I was curious though, what price were you asking? And then hopefully they tell you. And if they say, just tell them, okay, hey, that's a great price, especially in that neighborhood. Do you see yourself negotiating the price down when a buyer comes to your front door? Just asking questions, getting their information, open-ended questions, Motivation is always great, because,
Yeah.
You want that. Conditions of the house, obviously, if you don't mind, can you tell me a little bit about the property? What's the condition of it? The roof, how old is it? Any upgrades lately? Blah, blah, blah. But it's just asking the questions. Sometimes we lose a lot of deals by not asking the right questions, and then we kick ourselves in the ass because they say, man, it was so simple. Just ask the questions. And, just because we get too attached to the outcome, we got to detach from the outcome, because in reality, that house isn't ours, because we're just calling at this point.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Yeah, like what Victor was saying, you just got to ask, what I always try to do is just, so we want qualified leads, right? You want a qualified lead, whether like you get the motivation, timeline, condition of the property, and then price. But truly what you're trying to do is you're trying to dequalify, like Michael likes to say, like the buckets, you get your buckets, you get your dead, like they're not motivated sellers in that bucket, or it's a great lead in this bucket. So initially what you're trying to do in these calls is just get rid of the people that are just tire kickers, like you're just trying to see if they're like, oh, I just want to know what my property's worth. Well, we're not in the business of, giving people that information. Call a realtor. We want to, help people out by providing a service, solving a solution that they have with the property that going on the market wouldn't solve. So that's why we want to make sure, like, hey, if you're going to use a realtor, you want to, that should be like one of the dequalifying questions, like real quick, because the worst thing you could do is talk with a potential lead for like a month, right? 2 months. Like they're like, I'm super motivated. You're like, yeah. And then next thing you know, you send them a contract and then they take it to a realtor for them to list it. When at the very beginning of the conversation, you could have asked, is there any reason why you're not selling this on the market? And if there would have been like, oh, well, I just haven't thought about it. Well, maybe that would be a better fit.
Okay, so should I just try, do you think it's worth trying to call her back and ask her direct questions, or?
Yeah. Just like when you hopped on here, you were like, well, I don't know. Like you kind of know the questions that you don't know the answers to, right?
Yeah, like I don't really like when, I don't know if I'm panicking. I don't sound like I'm panicking. I sound pretty calm when I'm talking to them, but my mind is blank. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know what, like,
you need to
like it almost feels like I just want to hang up. Like it almost feels like I just want to get over the call. Like when they say no, it's easier. But when they start kind of talking to me,
yeah,
I'm like, okay.
So
Like, I don't really know what to say.
you either need to prepare before you make your calls. Angel's got this stuff written on the wall. It's on paper, obviously, but you definitely want to be prepared before your call and sort of have your questions lined out. And you don't have to ask them that order, but at least you got them there right in front of you, It's either that, or what you're finding out is if you're finding a lot of negative energy when it comes to that kind of part of the job, then maybe that's not the part for you. I don't know. Negative emotions can tell us a lot about what we're doing and not doing.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have somebody that you can call before doing your cold calling?
No.
I'll send you my number. I can't always pick up, but I do this with this kid named Jonathan. He's in this group and he's cold calling for me, and because he's in Oregon. What I
Yeah.
have him do is he'll call me. He'll be like, "Hey, bro, I'm about to make some calls." And then I'll do a couple, like 2-3 role play calls with him, you know, so that way when he gets those calls, he's not nervous about it. Like he's like, "Oh, okay, I already had this conversation."
Okay. I can
No,
try
it's-
that.
Yeah, and you know, like if you're having trouble, you need some help with something, just on Slack, you can get in touch with Angel or myself.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, maybe I need to call the lady again with the right questions. And if she's like a good lead, then I can call you guys and you can close or try
Yeah,
to close.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just put my number on the side chat. That goes for anybody else, you know. That's
Yeah, I see it. Thank you, Emilio.
I still have my W-2, so I mean, you can always text me, call me if I don't pick up. I try my best to give you a call back.
I'm usually right in
Okay.
front of this computer, sometimes on a Zoom, but right in front of the
Yeah.
computer.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. I'll try to call her again. Like I have a hard time like finding time to do things. So when I have like even like an hour of free time, like I'm in the car waiting for my kids to get off school,
Okay.
then I try to cold call a few people. Like I have a
Well,
list.
Wow.
So that's probably why I'm not prepared, because I'm like, okay, I'm in here. I have some time. I try to call some people. I haven't had very rude people. They've all been pretty nice. Some will just say no, or you know, but some just like to talk. There was one guy who said they're gonna end up. I think it was a pre-foreclosure list, and he said he's just gonna try to fix it up himself and sell it because the market's so hot. So
yeah.
yeah, but he was
And
talking. He was like, okay, yeah.
well, maybe with that lead, you know, like it could be a good lead. Maybe if you want, like Michael was saying, Angel will talk to anybody. Well, a lot of us will talk to anybody, but maybe if you want, like you can do like a 2-3 way phone call, you know, with you and Angel on the line. That way you can hear, you know, if he doesn't mind, like that way you can hear how he's talking, you know, you can kind of get an idea of like, oh, those are the questions I need to be asking, you know, like either he'll disqualify her, like, you know, in a few minutes, or he'll be like, oh, Lily, let's
Yep.
get this contract, send it now.
Because I was thinking with what she said too, when she said like nobody's able to meet the price that they want. So I thought about Pace every time he says that, and how the sub 2 is able to fix that problem. But I wouldn't know how to structure a sub 2. But I just always hear him say, you know, how sub 2 is able to get
Yeah.
these dead leads or able to offer more or something. So
Yeah.
it could be something.
Yeah, so
Is it something you guys do, or you're able to structure the sub 2?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
and Jesse, Reggie's got something going on that he'd like to kind of talk about that fits in here.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Hey,
Hey,
Lily, this was really for you too.
Oh, okay. I thought
We
someone
have
else had a question.
we have a virtual office that we work out of. It's basically in the same format as this. It's on Zoom. And this week and next week, we'll be helping people out with seller calls. So something like this, if you want to ever tap in and say, hey guys, I've got a seller that I'm working with that I need to call. This is the situation. Would you mind making the call for us? We'll make it like on speaker so you could actually hear the call, ask questions, get feedback, and take it from there. And this is not a JV type situation, it's just to help.
Okay. And so like in this case, I should probably still be the one calling first, right? And then if the lady is kind of interested, and then I'll say, we can schedule a call with one of my partners. Is that how I say it? Or would it
Yeah,
be better to just have you guys call out of the blue and then
It's really what we normally do is, yeah, it's just, go through the 4 pillars to find out. And since I don't know if you have you call it from your phone, from your regular phone, right? I mean,
yeah.
so,
Like a Google
whenever you
Doc.
go through the 4 pillars, try to write everything down,
Mhm.
every pillar, to see, where they at, the situation. Because with those 4 questions, you can have an idea, what kind of motivation and oh, is she there? Oh,
Yeah, I'm here.
and when at least that writing and you bring it back to the team, we can actually have an idea of how to approach that conversation for the second call. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying? And I mean, at least we have an understanding of like, there's some motivation or they're just bluffing,
Okay.
So from that conversation that we will have and going through your notes, then we'll go to that second conversation and find out if there's something that that we could get creative on, and what we can make happen.
What we
So,
can offer. And
right.
so the basic things that you would need would be the 4 pillars.
4 pillars all day long, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And
Because
can you tell me
that'll position us. Yeah. What's up?
can you tell me the 4 pillars again?
Motivation,
Mhm.
condition,
Mhm.
timeline, and price.
Price. Okay.
And that's
Got it.
another thing. I mean, and that's another thing we could do as well, because every pillar, and oh, my new camera that I don't know how to use. Look, this is what Michael was talking about, and I have I got my shit list or shit wall, whatever. Like whenever I forget something, obviously it's backwards. You see the condition, the timeline, and I got the questions to ask. And obviously, I got the screen here, but I got all kinds of stuff that sometimes when I forget, that's my go-to. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, boom, I got the condition, the 4 pillars right in front of me. So just in case I get blank, I mean, now I know it by heart, of course, but in the, whenever you go draw a blank, at least you got something.
Right.
all over the place.
That's why I'm in the car. I didn't go in yet.
I see you. I was like, what's she doing? She just got out of a car and she just got home. What the hell?
I'm just waiting for him to knock you out. Just
Yeah,
usually
he's a
they
monster.
would. I think they're playing video games, so they didn't come out.
I know that the struggle is real.
Yes, I totally understand.
So yeah.
But anyway, okay.
But my number is there, Lily.
I dropped.
If you wanna,
I created a chat where Emilio, Angel, and myself, Lily, you guys are all in there on the Slack channel. So I put all that information there for you.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So it's in the
I
Slack
I think Sarah had a question, and then I think she put her hand down.
Oh, I see it now, Michael. Thank you.
I'll drop the email too.
I just had a quick comment and a question.
Sarah, what's up?
Hey guys, so for people that are newer to cold calling, and if you're struggling, try putting a mirror in front of you. Sometimes you don't understand if you're not feeling good in the call, it comes through in your voice and it'll affect your self-esteem. But if you're looking at yourself in the mirror, if you can smile at yourself in the mirror, it'll come through in your voice. It'll make you sound better and more friendly. It sounds better on the other end. Also, just make sure you're making notes so that when you follow up with that seller again, you can remind them of a previous conversation you had and a detail they gave you. That'll help you build rapport with them and it'll help business go smoother.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That is some great tips. Also, too, write down
yeah.
Also write down the objections so you can practice them, because you're gonna get them over and over. So practice the objections that you get. Have notepads next to you.
Okay.
That was some great info right there. Thank you.
For sure.
Okay.
So this week I could use some help with locating and specifically vetting hard money lenders.
What was that?
Yeah.
About hard money lending?
Yeah, I'm found one or two people that have reached out to me, but like, how do I know how to vet a hard money lender? Like, what am I looking for?
Well,
I think I heard something about if they're asking for, if they're charging you points, then it's not like,
It's a hard money lender.
yeah. So if they're
There's a
asking
big
for
difference
point-
between both of them. Yeah, the hard money,
hard money and
it's
private.
interest only. They charge points. They look at your credit. I mean, they want to find out your experience, if you have done any flips, prior flips. Yeah, you gotta qualify pretty much.
that's
Private money lender could be your cousin, your uncle, your aunt, your mom.
Grandma.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could, hey, I'll bring the numbers in front of them. Like,
be a
this is what
seller
the
or a
plan is.
buyer, right?
Sure.
It could be a seller or a buyer.
It could be a
Yeah.
seller or a buyer. Yes, sir. Whenever you, they could, whenever you sell their property, that they get a chunk of money. It's like, hey, what are you gonna do with all that money? Oh, I'm gonna put it in the bank. Why don't you invest it? You know, there's ways that you can make 10% on your money out in a short time, and yeah, it happens. I mean, that's where 90% of the lenders come from the same sellers. Whenever they make their money, you know, they just gonna.
Yeah,
Some
so
people just put it back in the market on the bank.
finding lenders is actually another full-time job.
Right.
Because it's networking. I mean, you're really just, you're looking for people that have money sitting around, and a lot of times they're the lenders and the buyers of deals you've already done, or they're landlords that you meet, other investors, you know, people in this group, people in the Slack.
I think that's another Zoom meeting, another Zoom meetup, lenders.
Yeah, last week,
I just found a really good nugget on how to find lenders, like gold fat nugget on finding lenders.
do tell.
There
Do
you
I
go.
share it? Do I share it? Do I share it with everybody, man?
I mean,
No, let's wait for that soon. How about that?
No, we gotta charge for this, bro. No, I'm just kidding. No, but guys, a great way to find lenders. I just learned it. Go on your county website, or like where you find your LLCs, right? Where you go to find the owners of LLCs, or, you know, I think like
Secretary of
that's the,
State. Secretary of State.
yeah, the Secretary of State in your state. And what you do is when you go find an LLC, usually like when you want to find the LLC of a business person, is like usually every wholesaler or home flipper, their LLC consists of what? Home Buyers LLC, Oregon Home Buyers LLC, Flip House LLC, right? Because we're all basic like that. Now, lenders tend to be the same way. So if you're trying to find lenders in your area, when you go to search for an LLC, just put in the search bar, Lending Partners
Hey, where you
LLC,
going?
or Hard Money Lenders LLC. Like anything like in those words, like lender, lending, private, you can even put Private Money Lenders LLC. And you will be surprised how many people put that as their LLC, and they're private money lenders. Like that's what they do. Or hard money lenders, you know, and they make an LLC. Just because they're LLC doesn't mean that they're not lending money. But yeah, that's good stuff. Like I thought that was crazy.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and what I would recommend, and usually when you search that up, you click on an LLC and you'll get a name, maybe a phone number, a mailing address. You skip trace it, you find their number, and sometimes you can just have a conversation, just be like, hey, you know, I got your information. You know, I come across, you know, projects all the time, and I'm always needing lenders. You know, if you're looking to lend on more projects, you know, that's something you can do. I've always learned that raise capital before you need it. You know, that's a little nugget right there. Because you want to, just like when you're with a partnership, you know, you want to go on a couple dates with a lender, you know, get to know them. They'll get to know you. They'll trust you. So that way, when you bring a deal to the table, you won't have to like struggle to find, you'll have them already in your back pocket. So little nugget, finding lenders.
That's
Oh,
great.
Bubba.
Hey,
Tell.
can I say something?
Of course.
Gracio.
Hey guys, sorry I'm driving back from McAllen where I had the property that I'm flipping, but she asked about vetting the private money or the hard money. One of the basic things that I kind of look for is that I believe, if I remember correctly, is the NMLS number. They got to be kind of licensed in a way to be able to lend out money, unless they're like a direct private money lender. Like, say for myself, if I'm letting you borrow money, I don't need a license. But like typically hard money lenders, they have pools of money from individuals. And so a lot of times they have to be licensed. So if you ever get a name, definitely ask them like, hey, what's your NMLS number, and see if they give you that.
Rock on. Thank you.
There you go. All righty. Oh, Angel said he had a dip.
All right.
Angel dipped out. Does anybody else have any questions for us? Any question, anything they want to bring up? I totally forgot about about that Florida deal. Should have brought that up today. Maybe I'll bring it up for you guys.
What's that?
The Florida deal. I forgot to bring that up.
Which one?
What you got in Florida, bro?
Oh, I just closed a property not too long ago.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Congrats.
But it was crazy, man. Like I wanted to bring it up because so I made a post like a couple weeks ago, or more like 3 weeks ago. It was almost a month. I'm like, well, no, but I talked with these sellers, you know, they're my neighbors, and they have an Airbnb in Florida. And you know, I told them to sell with a realtor. I told them to go that route. They didn't want to, you know, they're like, I dealt with them before. I just kind of want to sell it quickly. And I was like, all right, let's do it. But then, you know, the way that they were talking, I was like, man, this would be a better, you know, sub 2, you know, because they didn't need the money right away. And I was like, you guys could probably get more. And so I was talking with somebody in sub 2 a while back. His name is what was his name? Caleb, I believe. And we had talked with the sellers, and after, you know, a conversation, they were needing the money quicker than they were saying at the beginning. So I thought, I was like, it's done. You know, it's not a deal anymore. Caleb called me back. He's like, yeah, bro, they want the money out too quick. And with the HOA fees that the property had, it kind of killed the cash flow. And so I could have ended it right there. I could have just stopped and been like, you know what? It's not a deal. It ain't gonna work. But the next day I kind of thought to myself, I'm like, nah, man, like I gotta close this one. It's gotta work, you know? So I ended up reaching out because I'm in Zero to Hero. I reached out to somebody there. I'm like, hey, does anybody have hedge fund buyers in Florida? And this guy reached out. He's like, bro, I got a few that are in Florida. And I told him, like, I got an Airbnb in Kissimmee, Florida, 10 minutes from Disneyland, dude. Like, there's gonna be people turnkey. I'm like, it's fully furnished. They're gonna want it. And he put it out there, got that contract sold in like 2 days.
Nice.
But yeah, I just wanted to share that with people, you know, just because it didn't work one way, you know, just don't give up on it. Just like, if you know it's a deal, like if you tell yourself like, nah, man, this is a deal, there's probably a buyer out there. You just gotta, you know, find them, squad up with people. That's how we got it done.
Good stuff, man.
Thanks,
It's like
bro.
I always tell my team, you got to be okay with the no's, because that means you're just one step closer to a yes.
Exactly.
It's always a way.
Where there's a way.
Now that we got Reg on here, bro, Michael, Reg wants to know how much I'm paying you guys. I guess you guys sometimes talk good about me. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I messaged them earlier. I was like,
I was
man,
like,
Mike and Angel have nothing but great things to say about you, man. How much are you paying them?
we don't discuss that
We don't
on
discuss
Zoom. All
But yeah,
right.
bro. Another thing too, Emilio, is that nugget that you dropped earlier about finding lenders in the online. What was that? The
Secretary of State or something like that.
Secretary of State. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not only lenders though that you can identify that way. You can also find sellers that way too. Just like you're finding lenders who have you know, with their name that I am such and such company, private lender or whatever they have in their name. If you
Yeah.
look and see that it's dissolved or they're no longer in business, they're also a good resource to reach out to, because if they were in that business, they may have a lot of properties that they may be wanting to get rid of.
Oh, dang. See, I didn't even think about that. Look at Red Drop. That is so true. Because I looked into it and there was like, a lot of LLCs that were just like, private money lender LLC, something. And a lot of them were like inactive or dissolved, like you said. That would be a good way to get in touch with possible sellers, guys. And not too many people are probably hitting them up.
Yeah, here in Florida, we do search that from time to time as part of what we do. And you can literally, in the Secretary of State in Florida, you could pull up their the date of when it was dissolved. So if we typically look at ones that were dissolved like within the last like 3 to 6 months, and then put them on a list to call.
I'm writing that down right now. So 3 to 6 months. So you always got to be taking notes, everybody. Anybody got any more questions? Anything they want to bring up?
No, this was pretty good, man. This was my first Zoom with you guys. This is really, really good information. This is, man, I wish I had something started for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna try to have a special guest every week until we run out of special guests. Maybe I don't know.
Well, I think
keep networking.
I think sometimes, like Angel was saying, maybe a couple Tuesdays we'll go back to like, where it's just like a meetup where, we might have a topic, like raising capital, or we'll, qualifying leads. I don't know. That's how we did like at the beginning, we just bring up a topic and then we just all discuss it. But I think a next guest would be, like what Victor was saying. I think somebody who's a real estate agent and an investor, I think that would be a good topic, like a good guest to find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what you're doing that, right, Reg? You're investing and an agent at the same time?
Hey man, I blinked. My internet went out for a second.
Oh, I was just saying that, regarding with what Victor asked earlier about being an agent and an investor, trying to kind of do the best of two worlds. I was saying that maybe that should be a topic maybe for next week, like a guest, like we could have a guest speaker who is a real estate agent and an investor and are able to make that work. But I wasn't sure, like if you yourself are an agent and already like closing deals, or because I didn't catch that part when you were talking about it.
Yeah, I definitely love to help however I can fit in. We've been doing it. Like I said, I've been in real estate for a while. I got in real estate in 2001. didn't open my own brokerage till 07. But we just started. So we mostly were retail. We just started investing in real estate ourselves at the end of 2019. So we've experienced, some pretty decent success. So whatever we're not like pros, like we're closing 10 deals a month, anything like that, but we do close anywhere from 2 to 4. So if we can share or help anybody, that's what I told what's your name, Victor? If I could shed some light or help in any way, I'm an open book.
Well, hell, man, what are you doing next Tuesday?
Shoot, like I said, I'm wide open, man. Whatever I can do.
I think maybe we ought to have you as our guest speaker then, because I'm also interested in how to work with agents myself, because I actually met up with 2 agents at my local REI last week. No, 2 weeks ago. And yeah, bro, they were like telling me about, wanting to work with me, like, bringing deals as like possible leads, like bringing good leads. But I was trying to figure out myself, like, well, how does one work with an agent? Because I've always been told off market, everything off market.
Well, the way Mike broke it down earlier was, perfect. Like for me, I see myself as a investor, and we happen to own real estate brokerages, right? So
Yeah.
you can't, it's I don't want to say you can't do it both, but it's challenging.
Yeah.
So the way that I have mine set up really is I hired a sales executive that pretty much runs our office here in Jacksonville on the retail side. And then the same thing with our brokerage in Tampa. So my sole responsibility right now is just working the REI business. With respect to how to work with an agent, if that was, to answer your question directly, it really depends. You've got to find somebody that, number one, that you can that you jive with, for lack of better terms. You know what I mean? Number two, they've got to know exactly what the game is. You've got to put everything out on the table up front, because you've ever heard, and I'm sure Victor knows this, there's more agents than not that have what we call commission breath. If you're not if you're not leading them to a commission right now, they can care less about whatever you told them 5 minutes ago or what you're looking for. You know what I mean? So for me, some of the best agents that you want to link up with or squad up with are newer agents. You know what I mean? Because they're not getting a ton of deals. And if you can set some type of relationship or some type of agreement that says, hey, if you can, this is what I'm specifically looking for. This is how we typically work. We don't mind working exclusively through you. And I'm sure, Mike could I'm sure that's how he probably has it with the agents that he works with, right? Or is Mike still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just in the background a little bit. Yeah, so definitely, agents, working with agents, it's so you got to find investor friendly agents, and I mean, that's who we work with. They've got to be investor friendly, because I meet agents all the time that aren't investor friendly and just don't understand it. Like they can't understand it. It's like they're stuck in this other mode, So yeah, I'm not sure if that answered your question.
Yeah. No, that's what Emilio was just asking, like how to identify the best agents to connect with and work with.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to, man, it's like making friends. You make friends with people that want to be friends with you. Either they do or they don't,
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Victor. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna go ahead and agree with what you both are saying. Even agents against agents, you know, right now, agents are so desperate. You know, they're bringing the market down regarding their commission. They don't care who they step over, right? So absolutely, it's building a rapport with everybody that we meet. You know, everybody that we want to do business with. First is the friendship. I forgot who's the one that mentioned it. First, we gotta take them out on a date, wine them and dine them, right? You know, obviously, we didn't marry our wives before we went on our first date. You know, we had to they had to impress us before we said yes to them, right? Let's go ahead and turn the tables here. I'm only saying that because my wife is here.
Get yourself in trouble.
You know, it's all right. I just ate dinner, so you know, I'm good right now.
Get
No,
comfy
but
on that couch.
huh?
Get comfy on that couch.
Right. No, but most definitely, you know, just building the rapport with you know, the right agent, and what's the right agent. We don't know, right, until we get to meet them.
Yeah.
They're the people that actually care, like us, right? You know, we care to build something. We're here to bring value to whoever is in front of us, right? Whoever, how I say, God brings in front of us. Obviously, everything happens for a reason. And so, yeah, we just gotta be careful who we I guess I could say play with, you know,
Yeah.
do business with in the business. Yeah, building a rapport is a must.
Yeah.
And here's another one too, is what is one thing that a lot of agents want to do that they don't know how to? They don't know how to do what you're doing, being a real estate investor. So in the spirit of being a go-giver, what about if you know, provide some value and showing some of these agents, look, this is what you can do. This is what my life looks like as a real estate investor. This is what I could share with you and how you can do some of the same things. You know what I mean? Show them a little bit, sow that seed right there and show them what you're doing and how you do it. Because there's enough business out here for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And typically what you'll find is in exchange for that, they'll start coming to you and say, hey, you know, this is what I found. They'll start bringing you deals.
Yeah. Do a deal with an agent. Like if you get a fixer upper or you get a novation, something where you get a chance to put it on the market, work with an agent and show them what you're doing.
Yeah.
They're gonna be curious.
Yeah, see, because that's what I was thinking. Like, you know, for instance, like the way I see it is like I just want to be we all just want to be problem solvers, you know. And
Yeah.
sometimes there is times when, like, you know, if somebody can list their property with an agent and get the best price, I push for that all the time. I'm like, you don't want to talk to us, you know, like if you want to work with an agent, work with an agent. Like that's what you want to do. But like when I talk to the real estate agents, you know, like what I'm telling them is, you know, the way I want to work with them is like, hey, if you guys come across a property that you yourself, you're like, this wouldn't do great on the market just like as itself, you know.
Problems. Your clients got problems. I can help you solve.
Yeah, if they got problems,
That's
you
it.
know, like if they got problems that a typical, you know, market sell could not solve, that's where I want to come in, and I want to help the seller get his household, and then you get paid as well.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well, this video is going to be long. I'm not going to be able to just drop it in the Slack. I'm going to have to put it in a Dropbox and then
Well,
put it in there.
what I was gonna say, bro, is
Split it in episodes, man.
if you want to maybe just kind of like edit it, or you can send it to me and I can edit it to where maybe we cut it off right where we end the nugget about finding lead or lenders.
Yeah.
Because like I was saying, like maybe our guest next week can be Reg, you know, and you can talk about, because I have like a lot of people bring leads that are on market. You know, I don't know how many people bring me leads that are like, hey, I got this great deal, and they'll send it to me and I'll look it up. I'm like, dude, this is like already on market. Like, and it's full market value, you know, like that's
Well, if
not
it's
a
already
deal.
on the market. It's not something Reggie could probably deal with. But if it's something where they're valuing it at market price, like ARV, then that could probably be something.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like maybe like next week, Reg can give us that, you know, that different look, like what Victor was saying, you know, well, if you guys do want to work the agent side, you know, like he can bring in some talking points, show how, you know, it looks on the other side of things.
Would you be open to doing that, Reg?
I am open. I am open, fellas. Just
All
let me know if it's a go or not, and I'll make myself available. But
Okay.
check this out, guys. I gotta run. I gotta put the kiddos to bed.
All right. Sounds good,
All
man.
right.
It was
But
great.
I'm
to
here,
have
man.
everybody here.
Let me know. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man. You have a good night.
I got something real quick, guys, regarding working with realtors. I did like a test campaign a while back, and it just got so overwhelming. Pulled a list from PropStream with properties that were distressed or, you know, had been in the MLS for too long. And we sent out like a email blast to the realtors that were, you know, listing these properties. And surprisingly, they're very responsive, and, you know, they're willing to work with you. I mean, our template said, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was something like along the lines, hey, we'd like to make a cash offer. And even though we didn't have access to the MLS, like, they will pull comps for you. It's crazy. Because when they would respond, they're like, all right, well, what's your offer? I'm like, hey, look, you know, we would respond back like, well, we'd love to make a fair offer, you know, based on the pictures that we're seeing and additional information. But would you mind, in the meantime, pull us a CMA on the property, right? And just so that we could give like a good, educated, and fair offer. And dude, I swear to God, they gave us CMAs every time. And we're talking about like various, I think, well, various cities here in Texas, and then in Florida, Jacksonville and Tampa is where we tried this. But I mean, a lot of them, they're really helpful, and you know, based on their CMAs and then kind of doing our own comps, like we would make offers, but even then it was still a little highly competitive. But I kind of stopped that just because it was so overwhelming. I mean, the responses were so high because we would send out like 100 to 200 emails a day, and man, it just, you need a team for something like that. But it is possible. I mean, these guys, they're hungry, you know, if you tell them up front, because that's what, you know, I told them up front what we were doing, you know, we were investors, you know, we might, you know, wholesale it, but we're looking to buy personally, you know, we always just laid it all up front, and they would still hook us up with CMAs and, you know, any additional information that we needed. So, I mean, somebody wants to give that a shot for marketing, it can work, man, but you just got to be on top of it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I can see it. I can see like how realtors will respond more in that way. You know, because they know real estate. They're in real estate. But I've also talked to realtors who are not really sure what they're talking about.
Well, that's where I got my first wholesale fee, from a realtor, and the owner of the property was a realtor and a broker. It's crazy.
Where are you at again?
I'm in Austin.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I was surprised. You know, she was the owner of the property, still wholesaled it. It was crazy.
And you're saying that was brought to you from a realtor, like, oh, here, or
no, that was from like the email blast that we had sent out, and the property we were targeting wasn't even the property that we ended up wholesaling. You know, because this particular one, they were in distress, but like I pitched sub 2 and all this other stuff to her, and she's like, well, I'm a broker and I'm also like a licensed blah blah blah, and I teach real estate blah blah blah, and she's like, I would never recommend that to my client. And I said, okay, fair enough. And then she's like, but if you're looking for properties that need some fixing, I got a property for you. And then boom, closed that one and wholesaled it.
There you go.
So, I mean, I think I don't know if anyone's ever tried that type of marketing, but it can work. It's just extremely overwhelming, and you got to be quick.
Sounds stressful. No. Yeah, but it works,
that's all I
man, to
got.
find out that many people doing it. Dang, Michael. Oh, Michael, did you stop recording this? That's gonna be soup now. You're still recording, bro.
I'm still recording, bro. I can stop right now.